Hello everybody, my name is Magnus Holberg and tonight I'm gonna talk about something relating to the headline I love the smell of O3 in the morning. We are gonna talk a little bit about kaboom or ozone. Ozone is something you can smell during a very heavy thunderstorm. But now let's see how ozone assists us and helps us in water treatment. Now, it's already started in 1905 with a plant producing 2,000 cubic meters per hour of drinking water. Now, where can that be and how did it look? The place was St. Petersburg, and here on the sketch you can see here a raw water intake from the river Neva, and you see a pump pumping up to a chamber where you add a flocculant, and in the chamber the flocculant will make particles and other things fall to the bottom of the chamber. Then the clarified water runs over to a sand filter. From that sand filter it goes down to a reaction chamber. Now in that reaction chamber you have ozone coming in, and the ozone, which you can see here on the top hand side, the ozone generator, and on the sketch you can see it here, produces ozone that is introduced in the reaction chamber. The water then goes over an aeration step where excess ozone is aerated off and ends up in the reservoir of the water plant or the water works. Now, I could spend some time on discussing the setup of this water treatment plant, but I won't do that. The main thing is the principle. Using the river Neva as a raw water source will put a lot of focus on the water treatment system to produce good drinking water. One of the things that ozone is helpful removing is color. In this bucket you see a brownish color, and after ozone use you have a clear water. In the case of Neva, you have flocculants also removing color, and probably they also used ozone as a good disinfectant of the river water, which probably was rather polluted. Now, ozone in itself is a very powerful oxidant, so it can remove manganese and iron. You can remove smell, disinfection, flocculant enhancement, and other things. And in the case of St. Petersburg, you have color and disinfectant that ozone would be used for. So now we're going to have a quick look on how ozone is produced in a water treatment plant. What you have on this picture now emerging, you have the generator inlet where you have a feed gas, or where you put oxygen in the generator. The oxygen then goes through an electrical field, a very powerful electrical field, which starts splitting the oxygen, and then when this is happening, the oxygen molecules are splitted and are forming ozone molecules, 3 oxygen molecules. So this is the basic process, which takes a lot of power to produce. Also, you have heat that you have to remove from the process. Now, let's have a look at what you need in order to produce ozone, apart from the ozone generator itself. You need a feed gas, oxygen, that can be supplied from a unit that produces oxygen from the air, or you can have liquid oxygen. Also, as I said, you need a cooling water system in order to remove the excess heat from the ozone generator. Also, you need a system to introduce the ozone, and then the ozone needs to react with a full water volume. So in the ozone introduction, a part of the water is mixed with the ozone, and then it goes into the major ozone reactor. Also, you need ozone destruction. At the St. Petersburg plant, the ozone looked at it was let out in the free air. But with ozone, it's a very poisonous gas because it's so reactive. It's a very, very powerful oxidant. You don't want to get any ozone out in the room or in contact with people or anything else. So you have an ozone destructor coupled to the ozone generator, which is also standard equipment. Also, of course, you need monitoring and control to control how much ozone is produced depending on the flow to the plant and so forth and so on. Now, as I said, ozone is today's standard equipment, and there are a number of suppliers you can turn to. One of the suppliers are Ozone, which actually has come up with a new technique to produce ozone, which is quite interesting. And I think the last maybe 5 or 10 years. And I said I worked a little bit with it, maybe 2 or 3, 4 years ago now. Time flies, but very interesting technique. And of course, you have Vedeco, which is a proven technique based in Germany, and I've also worked with that a little bit in my previous lives. And you have a company in Ozone in Switzerland. And there are, of course, other suppliers of ozone system. But just want to give you a heads up on what you can find on the market. So before I stop, I just want to give you a little bit of information about the island I love the most. And one of the things you can find on this island of Gotland is some very, very beautiful churches dating way back. And I think we have about, I hope no one from Gotland hears me now because I'm not quite sure, but I think we have 92 churches on the island. And I like taking photos, so I've been around, and here is one of the photos I took in one of the churches. But it's amazing what you can find, and I'm kind of a church fan. Has nothing to do with religion or all of that, but the building itself themselves are sometimes very, very beautiful. And here on Gotland you can find some real masterpieces. But again, just want to give you a little bit of information about Gotland, making some commercial, I think. But enough about that. Last but not least, I say thank you, and don't forget, water really rocks. Take good care and have an excellent week. Bye-bye.